Right, last weekend was the two hottest days of the year so far, and then the past week has been very cool. We didn't actually get any frost here. We got down to about 4 degrees, but still pretty chilly. Daytime temperatures very poor, very windy, had hail on the Monday, lots of rain. Just sort of a standstill on the growth really, just for that week. But today's nice, so let's get straight into the video. So we're looking at the parajubaea, which I brought horrible time of year last year. I think that's the end of October time. So I had to make a new raised bed. So this is going to be the new raised palm bed. It was the sitting area, or previous to that it was the hot tub area, then it was just a sitting area, now it's a smaller sitting area. Anyway, so we've got the big parajubaea there, and we had nothing around it, so this is a very small sitting area for two now. But I'm going to move the table and chairs out so we can have a look at the plants. And I have weeded between the slabs and re-sanded to neaten it all up. But right, yeah, so I always had in my mind that the parajubaea, you know, it's going to take a year or two to recover after the winter previous 22-23 winter. That took a real hit. It's got a couple of big fronds on it and a couple of small fronds now pushing out, but yeah, it's not going to look anything too special for a while. So we're going to concentrate on the planting surrounding it. So this is the raised area I've built. So this sitting area used to be twice as big, but we really didn't have anywhere else to put a big palm, and it actually worked out quite nicely with this sort of already frame around it, because that's going to make it easier if I want to box it in over winter, which I probably will. But I'm not going to talk about winter at the moment. So what plants we got in? I could have easily overplanted this, but I wanted to keep it a little bit on the subdued side, if you like, just due to the fact that, you know, things do fill out eventually. So let's have a look at the plants anyway. So what we've got here is a phoenix. In my eyes, probably the most tropical looking phoenix of the species. It is Phoenix rupicola. So as you can see, we're starting to get them fronds that really sort of curve around and give you quite an unusual look for a phoenix palm. Yeah, so that's spent the last few years kept cold over winter, and it's going to get colder this winter, so we'll see how that one does. So yeah, something a bit different in a UK garden. I don't think there's many people who have probably got any of these planted out. If you know of, let me know how they're getting on. Yeah, so we've got the Phoenix rupicola. We've got a small superstar cordyline. So this is one that I had in the ground previous winter, which took a lot of damage, and we can see the stem that did die back, but luckily we've got two heads growing. So that's been in a pot in the greenhouse all last year. That's now to the point where it wants to come outside and get planted up. So really wide glossy leaves on that, so that will give you a nice background to the, you know, contrast to the rupicola there. And I did put, I weren't going to, but I had some aeoniums which have been potted for years and didn't really know what to do with them. I sort of fell out of love, if you like, with this plant. I used to have quite a lot, but I don't know, just it doesn't excite me like it used to. But anyway, so we had a couple of big ones of them, so what we've done is we've got one either side, and they will darken up now they're outside in the direct sunlight, we can see the sort of centre leaves, so that should darken up quite nicely, and already sort of quite a tall branchy pear. And yeah, I have put a stake in to keep them upright. Yeah, we've got a little Ionium at the front here. I believe it's kiwi, but I'm not sure. Doesn't matter what the name is. It's a nice little plant, really light yellow in the centre, then you've got the pink outer leaves with the mid-green. Yeah, just a nice little pop of colour in the front. And we've got a Astelia. This is sort of burgundy metallic. So we had one pot of that. I basically took out the pot, cut it in half. So we've got a clump that side, and we've got a clump that side, just to even it out. So at the back here, another situation like the Superstar cord line. The other side, this was in the ground 22-23 winter, and stem died right back. So this is a Yucca Jewel. It's not really that hardy, but as we can see, it's kicked out 3 growths from the side, so that will grow. I mean, they do get some height on them eventually. And then another sort of, the other most tropical looking phoenix palm we've got here is the roebelenii. This is a double. So 2 palms, 2 trunks, one slightly bigger than the other. Not very big, literally about 4 inches of trunk. But again, this has been hard grown. It's been outside in the summer and just kept frost free in the winter, so it's been kept cold all winter for the last couple of winters. So again, pushing my luck, just seeing what we can get away with growing in terms of sort of tender palms. You know, all the phoenix species do have a bit of cold tolerance to them. You know, they'll take minus temperatures, but that's probably really short durations. They won't take a long prolonged freeze. But like I say, going back to the winter subject, I've got no problem boxing this in. I've got some flexible clear material I can use, put sides on it, front, and I'll put a roof on it if need be. And yeah, we'll box it in, and I might have even a little I'm still out whether to have just a little heater in there just to come on when it sort of hits the minus temperatures, or maybe just a heat cable in the mulch just to, you know, raise the temperature a degree or two. But I'll be coming to that later on when it's sort of time to worry about that. But at the minute, we're mid to late spring, we're going to enjoy the summer ahead of us. So this is the new raised palm border. So again, we've got some rarely used palms for the UK, and we'll see how they go. You know, we can only hope for mild winters, and like I say, I will be protecting them, so we'll see how they go. So yeah, that's about it really. I will do a full video on the parajubaea, all the specifications in a separate time once it's starting to push out a bit of growth. But there's a couple of small spears coming, but the weather's been up and down. But these are surprisingly fast growing palms, and they don't need high heat to grow. In fact, they will slow down and stop growing if it gets too hot. But that's for another video anyway. But yeah, so we've got the big trunk there with a few fronds sticking out, which I will say didn't really take any damage from the cold this winter, more wind damage. So we've got a couple of brown tips where the fronds have been bashing against the bamboo and the Spanish reed. But in general, yeah, no leaf damage from the cold, and we did get nearly -5. Yeah, so this is the area. I'm quite pleased with it. So that's another job ticked off the list. Still got a lot to do. I mean, last weekend I was really tempted to get all the end sets out and get them in the ground, but I'm glad I didn't, because like I say, this past week it's been very poor. Still not looking particularly good next week, but no frost, that's the main thing. We'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that business, and we'll catch you on the next one.